Welcome everyone, my name is Fake Thriller. Joining me today is Snoov603, and did you know there are only 27 days until Battlefield 4? And that kind of sounds funny because if you're like me and Snoov, you've been playing the Battlefield 4 beta for the past 24 hours, and we're here to talk about it. So we're going to get right into it, and I just want to let you guys know this is initial thoughts of the Battlefield 4 beta. So these are going to change. And obviously the game is going to change. So, Snoov, why don't you take us away, initial impressions?
All right, well, in my sleep-deprived state, I will do the best I can. I actually got up really early this morning. It went live, and there was conflicting reports. It was supposed to be either 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., and I was like, well, I'm not going to get up too early and risk, losing an hour's sleep. So I aimed for 5 a.m., and it actually went live at 4. But initial impressions this morning in my half-sleep state, it was pretty good. It's really, really different. The gun controls are kind of like a mix between Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. It's not that they feel bad, really, but they don't feel quite as tight and as fluid as they did in Battlefield 3. And the other thing that, I really haven't decided how I feel about it, but it's something that's constantly in the back of my head, like, I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, every time I see myself running, like the movement mechanics, just the soldier mechanics, everything that you do just as infantry, kind of feel clunky. Like, not really, really clunky that you're like, oh man, this thing's fucked, but like you can tell they did something different and it's nothing really wrong with it. It was done by design, and it just feels weird.
It's a different game.
Yeah, those are the two things that stand out to me. And again, it's not necessarily bad things, but, having been playing Battlefield 3 so much for the past 2 years and then going in to do Battlefield 4, you don't think it's going to be too much different. It's just kind of like, you're sitting there scratching your head, squinting one eye. You're like, what's going on here?
I actually, I'm all for it. I'm still having trouble adjusting to PC gameplay from the console, especially when Battlefield is concerned. But I feel like I can do Battlefield 4 better than I can do Battlefield 3. There's a lot of stuff that feels cleaner. Like, there's something really, really satisfying about the hit marker notification on Battlefield 4. It's like solid, and it's bright, and it's right in the middle of your screen, and it makes sense when it pops up. And I know that sounds really like the smallest thing I could have picked out to praise, but it's all about game feel. And even though it's a beta and there's going to be mountains of things wrong with it, I feel like it's a good game right now. On the bad side, I do want to mention a couple things that are known issues. Is everyone's having a lot of frame rate issues and so on and so forth, and I actually really hate how the Battlefield 4 beta is using 60 to 80% of my CPU. And I know that's sort of by design, but at the same time, it makes my room really hot because my PC is like,
yeah,
it's like a space heater right now.
Yeah, I've got that the micro ATX case, so it's pretty small, and it's got two pretty burly fans in there. But even still, this thing gets friggin' loud, and that was the thing that Jason, who built the PCs for me, had warned me about. He said, when that thing gets cooking and you're, really putting a load under it, you're going to notice it's going to get loud. That's the only downside of the small case, and he was not exaggerating by any means. But, the frame rate issue it's whatever. It's the beta, so you just take it in stride. Other things that stood out to me about the gameplay, going back to something I had said about Battlefield 3, was the thing that really impressed me about this game is how immersive it is. Like, coming, again, for those that don't know, we came from a Call of Duty background, and we go into Battlefield 3, and the thing that really stood out to me was just how immersive it was, how realistic everything sounded and looked. And Battlefield 4 was able to actually step that up a notch, in my opinion. I know some people are kind of complaining about how the sounds kind of sound gimmicky, but to me, I actually think they sound better. Like,
dude, I was firing at somebody, then I ran inside and continued firing, and I was amazed at how different the gunshot sounded because the echoes inside were going crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's a nice little touch. Like, something I wouldn't even normally think of or notice, but like, I don't know if it's built into the engine or if it's by design through DICE, but either way, it's really immersive.
Yeah, it's, as far as like the experience of the game goes, fucking A+. I mean,
All right, so
they did fantastic on it, BF3, and it seems like they've just managed to raise the bar by a little bit for Battlefield 4.
Let's talk about the 2 available game modes, and let's talk a little bit about the map.
Ooh, this actually, you know what? This could be for another video because there's a lot to discuss with this. We can just discuss the map real quick.
Okay, so the map, it makes me worried, to be honest. And I'm not trying to start trouble here, but Call of Duty had a map with an elevator that led you to the roof. In it, I think in the first Black Ops, and that was not that bad because it was limited. The elevator took you to just like a balcony, I think. It wasn't even that big of a deal. It was just a second level, and you could take the stairs right up. But I think the biggest problem that I have with the map so far is the multi-level gameplay or the roof campers.
It's not that big a deal, and I feel like what they did was they threw like their mid-level, like, okay, well, this isn't our shittiest map, but it's not our best map either. We'll give them something in between. But playing the Siege of Shanghai on Domination, it is a broken fucking map, and you could tell the moment you jumped into it. Because here's the problem. There's one very, very large building which is not a part of the Levolution. You cannot destroy this building. And it's very large. It's almost in the middle of the map, and it takes up a huge footprint of the relatively small playable area. And you can get up on the roof, and there's only one of 2 ways you can do that. One is either the elevator, or 2 is a ladder, which, incidentally, comes out right fucking beside the elevator. Now, you get on top of this roof, and all you need to do is just lay prone and focus down on the elevator and then the ladder behind it, and you can hold off. And one guy can hold off anyone coming in. And then the other problem with the fact is, when you get up on the roof, you have a clear shot to 2 flags, C and B, and you have a clear shot in the only 3 possible ways to get out of A. It is a game. It is a broken map, just period. There's no fucking reason why there should only be 2 avenues side by side to get onto a position that gives you a perfect eagle's eye view of all 3 fucking flags.
Rage mode, engage.
Dude, and it was like, I was like, you really, guys? Really? This is the map? Like, this is the game mode that we're going to play? This is a perfect example of we done fucked up.
I don't know. It calls into question that whole design thing. Like you can easily win the game if the enemy team devotes too much manpower to taking the roof, then it would be a little too easy for our team to take the flags. The main problem is when 2 or 3 really good shots get up on the roof, they can now lock down those flags that you're talking about. And then there's still enough people on the enemy team on the ground to come and ruin your day.
Right. And, you know, I'm not hating on the game by any means. I think it is going to be good, but this particular map, fuck this particular map.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about initial impressions, and that's a huge thing when you're playing that game mode, because it's not like a big thing like, oh, if this happens and then if that happens. It's there's the people who start the game and sprint to the flag, and then there's people who start the game and sprint to the elevator, try to get on the roof and hold it for as long as they can. It's going to happen in every match, and it's just something you got to decide how bad is it going to be this particular match.
Right.
But other than that, I think once again it is so easy to dwell on the negatives. I think we're both giving the beta 2 thumbs up. Battlefield 4 is looking just as good as we could have hoped. At least that is for me. Snoov, do you mirror that?
Oh yeah,
feeling?
I agree. I mean, this map is certainly not going to be the defining, well, the definition of what Battlefield 4 is going to be. Not by even any stretch of the imagination. So I'm taking it in stride. Like I do think it's an issue, and I'm certainly never going to fucking play this when the game comes out. But yeah, 2 thumbs up. Definitely looking forward to this game when it actually releases. We get to play more game modes and all the maps.
I was going to say, also keep in mind what's going to happen when mortars get unlocked. You're going to be able to clean that roof up pretty easily, I would think.
Oh yeah, I agree. I guess, sorry, last point I had to make. The thing I don't like about it, how big of an issue this is you're not playing the objective anymore. The objective has gone from being the actual objectives to hold the roof. The roof has become the objective, and that's why I'm not really pleased with this map by any means.
That's almost in that. There's a little bit of that in the full-size map of just regular Conquest, because whoever holds C tends to dictate a lot of. Have you played much Conquest?
Yeah, when I could get in there, that was one of the problems with the beta. But yeah, I agree. The same thing with Conquest. It's a tough map.
Except for in Conquest, C is on top of the roof, and then not only are you controlling parts of the map, you're controlling a flag at the same time. So
yeah, until they blow it up and Levolution it, and
so
then it's laying down in the ocean.
Yeah, so we'll see how the beta develops as more people unlock more items and see if it changes the balance a little bit. And I think what we'd like to know is what you guys think initially about the beta. So if you could leave a comment down below, that'd be pretty sweet. And unless you have anything else to say, Snoov?
Nope, that's going to wrap it up, guys.
Guys, well, just one more quick reminder that there are only 27 days until Battlefield 4 is released. So we will catch you tomorrow.
For those that are fans of the Battlefield Friends show, as well as other shows by Hank and Jed and Johnny Ethco, you should head on over to their store and check out all of the awesome merchandise they have to offer. Hell, you can even have the Newbin gang sing Happy Birthday to a Friend. It's all in the store, so head on over to take a look, or someone's going to throw ammo at your face.